So another episode where Coach has an absolute ton to say and lots of good stuff to go over, but no idea where to start or even really how to get it all together. So I'll try my best yet again. So of course, absolutely insane that Coach was in the process hours and hours deep into making a Bob Uecker video when he drops dead. I mean, holy hell, right after I call the Brewers losing the World Series. So I think I mentioned the Harbaugh thing already. We did Milwaukee Hawks. Alrighty, so Lions fans, just thought this poll was interesting. So 61% versus 6%. Alright, so let's see. I'm nervous simply because it's a playoff game and the Lions' history of finding new ways to throw the game away in the fourth quarter. I know we're in a new era, but I still can't shake that feeling. Yeah, because you're in the last gasp of the curse. It's the same old Lions. All right, so Coach just had a book there. Dr. Phil had a guess. My son believes he's a cyborg from the future, so Coach thinks that's just being straight up with you. He doesn't even think there's any conspiracy stuff there. That dude's right. And then let's see here. Clippers, obviously, originally the Buffalo Braves. Super interesting. Scares me a little bit with the Buffalo Bills, but check this out. Commanders over Chiefs, Commander in Chief. Not bad at all, right? Let's flip over to the notes. Let's see. We did Indiana. We did Reagan. We did BCS. We did Chip Kelly. The Hater Industrial Complex. So, players in teams that get like a lot of hate, it's for a reason, right? There's no sense in doing something right if you're not shutting up the haters, right? So every great athlete, etc., is going to have haters, right? So keep an eye on the manufactured hate because they're going to be showing the manufactured love later and making those haters eat their words. Of course, not all haters are wrong. Haters are right, every once in a while as well. So, let's see. Let's see. So the Bucks versus Warriors thing. So Warriors Clippers, that's super dicey too, over who the Bucks are gonna beat. It could be Warriors, could be Clippers. Coaches big time going Buffalo Braves. The Bay Area thing with Steph kind of makes sense. I mean, we do have Stanford winning it, and it is Glenn Rivers' son-in-law, and they love like the family thing. But like James Harden versus Doc hits. Like there's something there. Like there's blood there, right? Like the big old like happy fun go lucky thing with the son, that just doesn't quite ring the same. It doesn't give Steph a super good reason to bail on there, unless like I don't know, like the loss is just too. Maybe Steph doesn't play great in the finals and they lose and they don't want to renew his contract for some stupid reason. Who knows what they're doing there, right? But yeah, Coach doesn't trust the Warriors nearly as much. He thinks it's for sure in it for the Clippers. He just thinks it feels exactly right. He feels better about Chiefs over the Bills as opposed to the Clippers over the Warriors. Or the Warriors just aren't that scary. It just really doesn't feel right. So, but either one of those Clippers or Warriors does technically work. But it's Coach was saying of it like, so of course we're playing a giant game of Clue, right? To where we gotta like cross things off the list and then add them on, etc. Like and figure out who's gonna do what, where, and why, and it's so that's like how you play the game is like gathering the clues, but the puzzle we're solving is a crossword puzzle. Coach saw it in his brain and it like blew his mind that they're like putting together a crossword puzzle that fits like just right, and that's like kind of how he knows it's not the Warriors, because the Clippers is just like dead right. You know what I mean? Like, how does it really fit in with the rest of the picture? That's why he knew for sure Buckeyes was a bust. As soon as he thought about it a little bit longer, like Buckeyes and Bucks, like that's not nearly enough. Like, our Ohio State script just wasn't that great, but it did get us, all the way to the big dance. So we're happy there. We got our good odds. Notre Dame led the nation in takeaways. Coach is sick of the San Francisco 49ers. He thinks they're soft. He wants the Fresno 49ers. Also, he thinks after Steph Curry bails on the Warriors and the Wizards just, go defunct or whatever they end up doing there, Coach wants to see the Washington Warriors. That sounds way too right to not be a team. Like the Washington Warriors, like, is for real, for real. I don't know how that's not a thing. Like our Redskins might become the Washington Warriors, and then we get the Warriors basketball team later. Like that makes sense to coach. And then let's head back over. So Fresno is the fifth biggest city. San Francisco is the fourth biggest in California. Coach was thinking of like the Seattle Supersonics and stuff and how they're just obviously cursed because of the name. And he started thinking of the Seattle Sound. He thought that was a good name. Then he saw that their soccer team is called the Sounders, which I thought was interesting, although terrible. Sounders, definitely just make it the Sound. So flipping the script, the Commanders had 13 losses last year, 13 wins this year. Notre Dame has 13 wins. Let's see, Ohio State beat Notre Dame and spoiled their season last year. A little bit of revenge. There's something there. So something at 49. Oh, yeah, Fresno State formerly began offering advanced degrees in 1949 so they can, be the 49ers. And then let's see here. Oh, yeah. So coaches' picks are no joke, dude. Just a hair under 96 billion to 1. And we're not even talking Blue Jackets. Crazy shit, right? The odds aren't that bad. There's no way that's a 1 in 96 billion chance. That's all I'm saying. I know none of us can actually fathom what 96 billion means. But coach is saying give him that shit all day. Ain't no way the odds are that bad. Can you imagine? Seriously, for sure. It's just the best case anybody could ever possibly make in the history of time that it's rigged. And it'd be the biggest gambling score in history and the longest odds ever hit by a mile. Like none of that's even close. Even the stuff I was thinking of before, obviously crushed all the established records. But this one's just a whole other level. Obviously, they're never gonna let you put that action in. You got to get it below 1.5 million somehow. Good luck, right? Your best bet is doing things like taking the Brewers to win the National League, or more versus matchups as opposed to maybe exact outcomes, etc. You got to trim it off a little bit, as coaches showed you. Trim the fat. And then, so the Lions opened as only a 5.5-point favorite, so they're begging you to take the Lions, okay? And then it bumped all the way up to 9.5 points. They basically act like everybody's taking the Lions. Coach thinks that's a little bit shady. Coach feels really good about Chiefs, Commanders, Rams, Bills. So just saying. So we got our first Indian UFC fighter to ever went inside the octagon. Coach, go flip over to the channel real quick so we can see. That was it right there. I didn't mean to flip over. Oops, okay. So yeah, Pooja Tomar, first Indian UFC fighter to win inside the octagon. So India is officially on the map. So India, Indiana. Very interesting, right? So let's see. So coach is thinking, so that this one is Native American. So this one's Native American, this one's Indian. Okay, but this one was the first ever flyweight champ, and she hasn't fought in a while. So I'd like to see her make a comeback. It's only been a few years, but still 5 years, maybe 7. And then of course we got that one. Dude, so Stanford is by far, the craziest odds. Right? Coach, in case needs coach to prove it to you. All right, we'll pull it up just to show you what a drastic difference we're talking about here. How badly they're doing my Stanford team. Look at the difference between all the rest. That's just one team. All the others are exact results. So they're telling you there's no way in hell Stanford's doing it. It is also a 68 team tournament, right? So coach would expect to get paid like that if I'm entering a 68 team tournament versus a what do you call it, 14 team or whatever, right? So coach likes that a lot. Now, in comparison, I think it's only twice as bad as, Bucks to beat Clippers. So it's not crazy. But they're telling you, absolutely. And saying in Stanford's the toughest sell. So if Stanford's the toughest sell, I'd like to point out that we have a player who continues to be a superstar. So even in a loss, he continues to be a superstar. Transferred from Duke, who happens to be the number 4 team in the country. They're on our schedule, and we just happen to bounce into their conference this year on the other side of the country, Atlantic Coast, playing out of the Bay Area, right? That makes any sense. So coach thinks this is set up perfectly. He thinks they lose the regular season matchup, get them back in the ACC tournament or something like that. I'm telling you, this Stanford team feels a lot like that Maryland team. They really, really do. I'm not even bullshitting you. Like that Maryland team, a lot at the time, it was like I had a lot of pride in, like, I knew I was one of the only people that believed in them. No joke. So, and they're built kind of the same way. They got the big 3 ball, that sort of stuff. They just got a 7-footer doing it. So check out what they did against Virginia. They had a Virginia lacrosse legend get on the court and play a couple minutes. They're saying it's one of the best stories in college sports this season. All right, how crazy is that? Let's see. He's third all time in forced turnovers in lacrosse. He got his first career rebound against him. So the Eagles fan who was going off on the fake woman, right? Dropped the C word. That his name's Ryan, so it makes it not look good for Ryan Day. And let's see. So the Cardinal, they're off to 11-6 start. So check this out. Our boy Maxime, 10th nationally in scoring, 4th in rebounding. He does not look like a big rebounding force. Like, that's incredibly encouraging for a coach, that this dude has this sort of touch, and he's very Embiid-like without, like, trying to do too much, right? And let's see. $86 free throws, so that was interesting. Coach has some good ones. Let's just get past. Foreman admits he was afraid to face somebody. Coach thought it would be Tyson. Ended up being Tony Craig Tucker, who Tyson beat. So coach thinks that's admitting he was afraid of Tyson by proxy. Coach was taking a look at the old PGA Tour. He's bummed that he can't start Standing Tiger yet, because obviously it's not Tiger time. We'll know when that's the case when Tyson's on and makes his presence felt. But coach was looking over. Brooks Koepka really jumped off the screen. Okay, decided to take a look into him. And he's won several times on the PGA Tour, 5 major championships. Okay, his brother is making a comeback from injury. And his 3-iron has undergone a shocking transformation. He uses Nike clubs. I thought it was very interesting. Check this out. This quote right here. The one I'm using is actually one of my backups. My original lasts me about 6 years. So with my math, if this one lasts me 6 years and my other backup lasts me another 6 years, right? He's had to drop the 666 right there. So coach is standing Brooke right here. Brooke Koepka and Chase. He thinks they're going to be doing something. Now, coach likes, let's see, got to be this right here.
So what a nice day, huh? Come on, man, we got to get ourselves ready to go. I need you guys today, man. We got to have it today. Come on. I try to study and read about a lot of motivational people and try to really apply it. I'm not one of those guys in the first team meeting that puts up 10 sayings and then never goes back to them. The pain of discipline versus the pain of disappointment. The pain of discipline versus the pain of disappointment. Starve your distractions, feed your focus. Starve your distractions, feed your focus.
There is no set roadmap to becoming a champion. The Texas Longhorns know that.
We have to be more obsessed with the details. We are capable of anything, but we're entitled to nothing. The mission that we're not on this mission to achieve a championship. We're on this mission to become champions. Am I clear? All right, breaking a prayer. Let's go. We not me on 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, you got that. And then coach noticed this. He tried to record it, but as you can see, we had problems. Okay? But basically what happens is this guy's like suspiciously posed for the camera, right? And this guy here tries to go to congratulate him, and it's like that awkward, like, ooh, like, this dude like never even looks back, and this dude like ends up patting him with the botched high five, right? Coach thinks when you see something like that, it's probably a dead sign that team's going to lose. And it just so happens, of course, Texas lost, right? So let's see. Oh, my God. So National Sports Entertainment. I'm like sick with myself. I gave this dude the benefit of the doubt. He's taking all chalk again? All chalk? He does say the Commanders are the most likely to upset. right? But won't even whisper about the Rams possibly doing it. We got all NFC upsets, no upsets in the AFC. That's how Coach is rolling. And then let's see. The last 2 times the Rams won the NFC West, they went to the Super Bowl, so it'd be nice to them at least make the NFC Championship so they can act like that's going to be a big thing and doubt our Commanders. So that's what Coach has for you. Appreciate you.